Hey everyone, welcome back. As I'm recording this, which you'll probably watch a week or two later, it is International Women's Day, which is trending all over social media. Apparently, it is also National Women's Month or Women's History Month. So we are going to celebrate with the most influential woman in Nintendo. No, not that one. Nope, not that one either. Yes. Samus Aran. We're going to play Super Metroid today. We're going to do a speed run here. Now, I am not a pro speed runner. I just play casually. But anyway, when Metroid first came out, which is the 35th Metroid anniversary this year, the original Metroid game, you did not know the character was a female character until you beat the game and she removed her helmet or removed her armor, and it's like, holy crap, it was a chick in the armor the whole time. So, I mean, that was a big deal back then. So, and of course, I'm going to change my controls here. Now, I like to play, and this is how I've played it for like the last 20 years. I like to play with the dash on the L trigger. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Super Nintendo controller for Nintendo Switch. I'm playing the Switch version just because I like the Switch. Now, the problem with the control scheme that I play is I can't use the angle down assigned to a button. So I can't do like the arm pumping, like the angle up, angle down, angle up as I'm running, because that's supposed to help make Samus run faster. But that's okay.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy.
And this was, at the time, I think it was like a 24 megabit cartridge when it came out on Super Nintendo. At the time, it was the biggest Super Nintendo cartridge when it was released. It was like 24 or 32. I'm pretty sure this was 24, and then Donkey Kong Country was 32. And then a lot of the stuff around that time afterwards was 32. But really, really neat game. They did a very good job programming it. Didn't use any like Super FX chips or DS or SD1 chips or anything like that. So it didn't have any expansion chips, but it still did really, really well. Of course, this is the third Metroid game, so it's technically Metroid 3, which is kind of funny because Metroid 2 was on the Game Boy, and it was one of the few sequels on the Game Boy where they actually called it the sequel number. You know, because you had Super Mario Land instead of Super Mario Brothers, whatever, or Super Mario World, whatever. Mega Man kind of had its own numbering sequence on Game Boy, but Metroid, it was Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, Metroid 1 on Nintendo, Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, Metroid 3 on Super Nintendo. So, made a lot of sense. And Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, I haven't played that in forever. The only games I've played, the only versions of Metroid 2 I've played is like a little bit of the 3DS game and also the fan game, another Metroid 2 remake. That was actually really good. I really enjoyed that game. I wish they modeled it after Super Metroid instead of the Metroid Zero Mission or Metroid Fusion game on Game Boy Advance, but it was still really good. And this isn't exactly a tutorial on how to speedrun, because my routes of speedrunning is a little out of date because I am nowhere near as good as the pros. But I'm still going to kind of like talk about what I do and all that kind of stuff. I remember my friend Nate, him and I, when we first discovered Metroid, Super Metroid speedrunning a thing, and this was a while ago, and why is my controller not syncing? There it goes. I might be a little too far away from my Switch. Let me back up just a little bit. My Switch is way behind me. There we go. Anyway, when we first discovered Super Metroid speedrunning was a thing, back then the fastest time was like an hour and a half. And we were blown away by that. And then as we were like trying to learn how to play the game faster and blow through it really fast, that time increased from like an hour and a half to hour 10 minutes, hour and 5 minutes. And this, I think this was like the game, like internal game time, because it shows like a game timer when you beat the game, which isn't like totally accurate because it doesn't count when like in between the cutscenes and the in and outs of the walking in through the doors. So I have no idea what my real time speed will be on this, which is fine. I'm sure I could time it on the video or something. I didn't feel like setting it up. Of course, usually when I've been playing this lately, I've been playing it on actual Super Nintendo. And sometimes I'll either play it on a CRT, or I'll have it hooked up to my OSSC or RetroTink. And my Vizio TV is actually pretty good at input lag. So because I'm playing this on Nintendo Switch with a wireless controller on my Sony TV that I use as a computer monitor, which I need to replace, the input lag on this one is not as good. It's decent enough. It's decent enough to where I can use my PC on it, move the mouse around, and not really notice. But when compared to a CRT and compared to my Vizio, it's not quite as good. So, but it's all right. But I may make some mistakes in my jump timings as a result. So I was actually practicing this the other day on Switch, just to kind of get used to it. Of course, all those really cool Mode 7 effects, ship zooming in and out and all that kind of stuff. First time playing this game was on a Super Nintendo kiosk at a local superstore. I don't know if Fred Meyer, how well known Fred Meyer is nationally, but we have a Fred Meyer in my hometown, and also where I live now down the road. And Fred Meyer, of course, has a supermarket and just general general stuff, clothing, shoe store, electronics, all that kind of stuff. And their electronics section was always pretty decent size. And they had a Super Nintendo kiosk. It was one of the good places to buy Super Nintendo games at the time. The MKB store, Kmart, eventually Sears for a little bit. But yeah, they had a Super Nintendo kiosk there, and for a while they had Super Mario World. I am messing up my jump timings as I'm talking, but that's okay. They had Super Mario World set up, and kind of a good way to go in and try out the Super Nintendo and make you want to buy one, beg your parents for one for Christmas, which that's how I got mine. I got one from my grandmother for Christmas. Luckily, I was lucky to get one considering my report card. But eventually, they replaced Super Mario World with Street Fighter 2, which is pretty awesome at the time because I didn't go to the arcades for a few months after that because why go to the arcades and pumping quarters in Street Fighter 2 when I could go play it on the Super Nintendo kiosk and get just as good of an experience. But then when Super Metroid came out, they put Super Metroid on that kiosk, and people were crowded around it watching it all the time. I mean, it was pretty neat. I mean, just like the graphics and all that kind of thing. I mean, the only good graphics like this you would get on a home system would be a Neo Geo. And I don't know a single person in my hometown that had a Neo Geo. I mean, there might have been one or two, but I had never seen a Neo Geo in person until much later. Which Neo Geo was like the Rolls Royce of home consoles, just because it was based right on arcade hardware. But of course, it was like $600 to $800. So on a home console that was like $100 to $150, getting this kind of graphics and effects and all that kind of stuff, and some of the bosses that cover up, they're like double the size that they could fit on the screen, like Kraid, and still be able to move around. I mean, that was pretty cool. It was definitely impressive. Of course, this was during the height of the 16-bit console wars, Genesis, Super Nintendo, blast processing, all that kind of stuff. Which the Super Nintendo actually has a very weak CPU, especially compared to the Genesis, which was 2 years older. Gosh, dang, I told you I'd mess up my jump timings. We'll get used to it. course, a lot of the stuff from Metroid 2 and the Game Boy was carried over to this. Funny thing is about the wall jumping, because I'm doing a lot of wall jumping, is when people first play this, the wall jumping was something that people discovered when they go into the room and had like the three little critters, and they kind of teach you how to wall jump. I don't remember if it was in the instruction booklet or not that told you how to wall jump, but a lot of people would discover it by accident, or they'd watch other people do it in the kiosk. Oop, come on. Oh. But the wall jumping did not exist in the previous Metroid games. Oh, I did not want to grab all of them. Come on, jump backwards. Jump backwards. There we go. Mess it up a little bit, that's okay. Like I said, I am no speedrun pro. But I enjoy it. And that's what matters. But anyway, like in the original Metroid, just something as simple as ducking like this on the NES version, you couldn't do. But they added that as a feature on the Game Boy game. And eventually future Metroids. God, it took me forever to time that just right when I first started doing that little jump at ball trick, so I didn't have to take the longer way. Oh, I had to jump a split second sooner there. But it's okay, because I had Subway for lunch. Actually, I had it for breakfast, but that's what they use in the commercial. I had Subway for lunch. Actually, I think that's an outdated commercial now that I think about it. So I like the death animation when you die in the game, and then the armor explodes and it shows Samus's figure as she falls and collapses. That was kind of cool. That was kind of a nice touch. Because it was well known to the gamers that the character was a female character, but when like an average person watched it, like at the kiosk, oh, I messed that up. Gosh dang it! But when the average person was watching someone play, it's not something they kind of realized until like, oh, it's a girl playing this. Like I remember playing with a relative of mine who's like, gosh, almost 20 years younger than I am, and this is like in the Xbox PS2 era. There we go, got that. And he started getting hooked in this game, so him and I were playing it back and forth, and he died. He's like, oh wow, there's a girl in there. So that was kind of cool. So I'll do that little trick where you jump and you hit the buttons just right, and you could keep your speed boost while you're in ball form, and that allows me to go under the door as it's closing, because normally you need a speed boost to run fast enough to get through there. So that allows me to skip a sub-boss. Oops, I meant to do that. That allows me to skip a sub-boss. Oh, I now refilling missiles a little bit. There we go. Because like a little plant monster sub-boss, I forget the name of them, that you need to get the super missiles, and that makes it so much easier. Or so much quicker, I should say. Because that is kind of a tedious boss. Grab those missiles. Grab the charge beam. Charge beam is key. To get the charge beam, you get a lot of the special weapons, and therefore you don't quite need missiles for the boss fights, when you can just use a charge beam. So super missiles made their first appearance here in Super Metroid. They were not in Metroid or Metroid 2 previously. Of course, you can also kind of do like a little quasi screw attack. Which a screw attack is a weapon you get later on in the game. Which we're actually going to skip it. Save a little time. It's amazing how well this game holds up to modern games. A lot of the Super Nintendo games. I mean, the Super Mario Worlds, the Link to the Past, Super Metroid. A lot of that stuff holds up to modern games. Excuse me. Still fighting my post-recovery, my post-COVID recovery cough. Which we'll probably be fighting for a couple months. I was getting better last week, and the last 4 days has gotten a little worse, but it's still manageable. Just kind of comes and goes. By the way, when I first exited this area and I went took that chute, I went way down instead of going up. The new speedrun is they go up and they go to the wrecked ship area and they fight the boss in that area, and they do that first. And I've tried, and I am nowhere near good enough to do that. I can't even do the bomb trick to make it across the moat there. Oops, I'm messing up this jump timing. There we go. Normally you need the high jump boots to jump up high enough to get here. And yep, there's Kraid, and we beat Kraid. He's about as big as he was in the NES version. Nah, that's not really Kraid. But that was kind of a fake out that if you didn't play this game back then, this was your first time playing, and if you played the previous Metroids, like, oh, that was Kraid, that was pretty easy. And then you fight the real Kraid. And they tease this really good. Of course, a little bit of slowdown when he's loading up, but that's okay. We Super Nintendo players were used to that. I couldn't do the quick kill. I've only done like the quick kill on him twice. You shoot him with a charge beam to hold his mouth open just right. And then you can actually kill him before he rises up. But yeah, when we were playing on the kiosk and then someone played this to the point where they fought Kraid, assuming they got far enough before the reset timer on the kiosk happened, people were pretty impressed by that. You know, graphics back then, you hardly... I mean, just that kind of like sizable of a boss, you hardly saw that in arcade games back at the time, much less on a home console. So that was pretty impressive. Of course, we were starting to get some 3D polygon games starting in our market at this time, or close to this time. Because soon you'd have Star Fox and that Where'd You Learn to Fly game, I forget the name of it, that's on the 3DO console. The Virtual Fighters. Of course, they looked like crap back then, but it was a sign of things to come. Grab an energy tank in here. These guys, you can just let them grab you and shoot with a missile. And there's a trick where you can hit enemies a certain way or hit like the spikes in a ceiling a certain way and kind of use the damage to bounce yourself forward or backwards quickly. I have not gotten that down. I've done it a few times by accident. So, but that's okay. So the only video I think I've done on Super Metroid was the Zelda Super Metroid randomizer. So I figured I was overdue to do this. I did a speedrun video on my YouTube channel way back before you can even monetize stuff on YouTube. And that was back when YouTube videos were limited to 10 minutes of video. Oh, I want to shoot that guy. There we go. Shoot that guy, and you can open the door right away. Therefore, you don't have to trigger it later. Which the new speedrun route doesn't matter because they don't go up and grab the missiles. They just go back the way they came. At least last time I watched a speedrun video. And I'm going to grab a little more extra missiles than the average pro would use. Because I don't know some of the... Or I can't do some of the tricks that they do. That's okay. Okay, now if I wanted to, I can go to the left over there and grab the ice beam. Use the speed ball trick, but that's okay. I don't think there's really any reason to grab the ice beam early that I know of. There's a missile down below there on the bottom left if I wanted an extra missile, which I don't really need it. Skip all this little extra jumping. And I'm going to skip the missiles on the far right. Shoot those guys flying there. Get a little extra running room. There we go. Go down, grab the wave beam. Oh, so you saw me grab the Spazer earlier that shoots like the little 3-shot weapon that I got. That was originally added in Metroid 2, not in Metroid 1. Metroid 1 only had the wave beam and the ice beam, and of course the missiles. Metroid 2 was when they added the Spazer and the plasma beam. But both those Metroids, when you grab a weapon, it would replace your previous weapon. Like if you grab the wave beam, it would replace the ice beam. If you grab the ice beam, it would replace the wave beam. Where on this one, it can combine them. Like I have the Spazer and the wave beam. Like if I deactivate the Spazer here, there's just the wave beam. So yeah, that was a pretty cool ability, because it kind of sucked looking for those weapons back in the original Metroid and enjoying them, and then you had to replace it with the ice beam to kill the Metroids. Ah, dang, I messed up the wall jump off of that thing. That's okay, we'll go around. Cool thing about the wave beam is you can shoot it through walls, which was a thing back in the original Metroid. So yeah, you can get the ice beam and the wave beam and the Spazer or the plasma beam, and basically acts as like a total upgrade for all your weapons. So it's kind of cool. I like how they did that. Refill my stash here. We'll run down here, grab the speed boots. And we can run really fast, like a comic book superhero. Speaking of running fast, I was slightly disappointed with a reveal in one of the characters in the WandaVision finale. If you haven't watched the show WandaVision, definitely watch it. It was a really good show. I just wish they did something with one of the characters that they revealed halfway. I won't say what or who in case you haven't watched it yet. Now, if I add the power bombs, there's actually a shortcut to the left over there. But I didn't grab them yet. Oops. There we go. Well, we need to go all the way back the way we came, and instead of taking all the pathway that we came, we can take this little runway here. Now we got the speed boost and just run all through that crap. Save point here if we want to save. I'm not going to save. I don't need to. I just won't die. Okay, we're going to get the ice beam. And through this corridor, if you don't have the speed boots, you can just do the speed ball trick like I did earlier to grab the super missiles. Of course, with the speed boots, you can duck down in the middle of the running and do like the little dash move and jump up, diagonal, or straight ahead. Which also kills people in your way. I think the move is called a Shine Spark. So go back the way we came. Of course, if we wanted some more items here, we would use a power bomb and go straight down. Come on. There we go. Ah, my nephew's on. I bet my phone's going to ring. He's going to want to play some Fortnite or something. Maybe I'll come up and play after I'm done with this video. Alright, so we're going to go back up the way we came, and we're going to go to Wrecked Ship and fight the boss there. Keep my phone handy to silence it, just in case he calls. There we go. I'm going to go straight up. Oh, not yet. One more room. So yeah, Super Nintendo games on Nintendo Switch, they play really well. I'm pretty happy with them. Not as good as a real thing. Like if you go back and play Super Nintendo and you play nothing but that for a long period of time, and then you go to play this, you can kind of notice a little things off here and there. But that's okay. It's real subtle. The average video game player probably wouldn't even notice. I don't even notice it most of the time. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, if I was good at this, I would hit those spikes and do it in a way to where it would lunge me forward. So I'd shave off about 3 seconds there. Actually, let's see if I can do it right here. Nope. Ah, crap. Crap. And I made it worse. That's okay. Now we got the power bombs. Power bombs make their first appearance here in Super Metroid. Of course, cool little Super Nintendo effect you see right here. For anyone that has played Contra on Super Nintendo, the Contra 3, the Alien Wars, the newer versions of that game after Super Nintendo, like the ports, like the Game Boy port and the Konami collection that's on Nintendo Switch and newer systems, the bombs in that kind of do the same thing, and they reduced some of the flashiness on the conversions that were on the Super Nintendo because of like epilepsy and things like that, and seizures. If I wanted more power bombs, I can go to the right over there to that green door, but we're okay. We don't really need a whole lot. All right, use a power bomb to open these yellow doors, or orange doors, depending on the tint of your TV. Now, normally you need the grappling beam to get across here, or like I was mentioning earlier, there's like a bomb trick, and I nowhere near as good to be able to do it. I've tried, but since I got the speed boosters, I can just do this. Get missiles along the way. And I think there's a way to do this where you shoot and open the door, so you keep that going straight ahead. I've never been able to pull it off. I think I've seen it in a video before. Anyway, we're going to turn off the high jump boots, because we want to be able to jump low beneath these little structures right here. Oh, I screwed that up. Oh, we got to do this again. That's okay. So I'm guessing with a lot of my screw-ups that my final time is going to be 54 minutes in the game time. I don't think I've ever been able to get below 53. I might have gotten 52 once. Alright, try this again. Alright. Oh yeah, that worked out really good. Alright, turn the high boots back on so I don't forget. Alright, use super missile on that guy to shoot him in one shot. And we're going to fight the boss here. I forget the name of the boss. I think it's Phantoon. It's either Phantoon or Crocomire. I get the names, the Meridia boss and the Wreck Ship boss names mixed up, but that's okay. So we do not want to shoot him with the super missile, because that causes him to be inflamed. Or in flames, that's a band. Inflamed, where he does the thing where he shoots a bunch of stuff from down below. Oh, we want to disable the ice beam. So that way we can shoot him with a charge shot. He'll stick around and we can shoot a couple more shots at him. Oh, there we go. That third shot, I try to shoot a bunch of missiles so I can do them at once and hit them with multiple missiles instead of just one. There we go. Got about 2 or 3 of them on him there. So normally when I'd be able to get like 3 hits with him, I actually got 4 there. 4 or 5. Alright, I've got 2. Better hit him with a charge shot in the beginning because it does a little more damage. At least I believe it does, but it's hard to do so. Oh, that worked out good. See if I can get him in a final cycle right here. I think I can finish him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, got him with a super missile at the very end for the kill shot. That worked out pretty good. Wasn't a bad fight. That's pretty good compared to what I normally do, so I'm not complaining. Let me sit up a little bit, make sure I'm still on camera. Grab a little extra super missiles, increase our super missile stash. That'll help with the final battle and toward the end of the game. Not really needed too much for the boss fights. Save point there if we need a save point. These things are getting in the way. There we go. Want to kill all the things in the room here so we can open up the flashy doors. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we can open that door. Now, I probably don't need it, but I'm going to go ahead and grab these extra missiles here just because, honestly, I think it's just really cool to grab the missiles this way. And there's some more on the far left over there as well, but I think we're okay. Now we don't have the grappling beam still, which we don't even bother grabbing it for this run. So to get through here, you just got to take it. Just got to take the penetration. Just take the spikes. And if you got a weak bladder, this is a good time to put down the controller and go make a quick restroom break and come back. And if you take a bomb, go down below to the right, I think you grab an extra missile, but more importantly, you can grab a reserve energy tank. But we don't need that. We're more concerned with the gravity suit. Gravity suit will help reduce damage even more. And also negate the water effects when you're walking underwater. So you can jump around freely in the water like normal. And we'll go ahead and grab these extra missiles here, just for the heck of it. Pretty sure I don't need them, but we're going to be a little safe in this run. Okay, so we're going to go back down the way we came. Now, normally what you can do when you're in wrecked ship and you grab the gravity suit is like if it was your first playthrough and it's a blind playthrough, you would go back and you would go towards the right and you would enter Meridia that way. But we're going to kind of skip that. And just going to go straight to the back entrance. Oh, crap. I should have had the ice beam. That's alright. Use a power bomb to break through this. There's actually a trick where if you jump like a couple frames before it breaks, you can jump up really, really high. That's if you don't have the suit yet, because of how the gravity physics work. Gotta keep remembering to hold my controller back a little bit because my Switch is a little far behind me, and I'm using a really long HDMI cord to reach my PC and capture card. I'm going down this way just to grab this extra energy tank. That'll help the run, make the run a little more smoother. Still blows me away how good this game was for when it was released. For a mid-90s game, it had a lot of stuff going for it. There we go. Grab that extra power bomb. 'Cause I think I need, yeah, right here. And we'll increase our super missile stash right over here. And some regular missiles as well. And of course, we got the fake Metroids. Need the speed boost to get through those walls right there. And we got a little mini boss right here. When he starts moving fast, a little easier to shoot him with a charge shot. And we got another energy tank over here. And just run through here, and here's a good place to recover some of your loot. Come on, give me some super missiles. Because the enemies just kind of come up from the sand there. More super missiles. I think it actually goes up to 20, but I think we're okay. And again, since we don't have the grappling beam, we gotta just rely on wall jumping. And of course, the tricky wall jump right there. And if we wanted some more regular missiles, we can go all the way to the far right. We got fake spikes right there. And if anyone's wondering how the heck are you supposed to know that if you're first time playing, there's a weapon in the game, not a weapon, but an item in the game called the X-ray vision, where it allows you to see through walls and what things are really like or what it takes to destroy certain blocks. So they do hold your hand a little bit. Of course, you got the little mini map in the corner in the map screen right here. This was the first Metroid game to incorporate that. The previous two Metroid games, you had to rely on strategy guides or drawing your maps on graph paper, that kind of thing. Oops. There we go. That's what we wanted. Shoot those things away with the power bomb. Now, there's a trick to do the speed boost in a shorter amount of time. You tap the button in a certain sequence, and you can actually use that speed dash move against this guy and do a lot of damage to him early on. And that's actually a faster way to kill him. And I don't know how to do it in a short amount of time. I've done it a couple times by accident. Oh, crap. There's a quicker way where when he grabs you like this, if you have the grappling beam, you shoot it at one of those little electrical things there. There we go. Got him. Not a bad fight. Not a bad fight for me, at least. Grab some of the loot. They didn't give me a lot of super missiles, but at least it replenished my power bombs. And here we get the space jump. Space jump allows you to jump while jumping. You'll see. They first added this in Metroid 2 on Game Boy. And the only item that didn't carry over from Metroid 2 to Super Metroid is the spider ball. Spider ball, you turn into a ball and it allows you to kind of hug the walls. I don't remember if they put it in any other Metroid games after this. But I almost forgot about it, actually. Of course, we can shoot these guys here to replenish super missiles. Come on, there we go. So we got one more boss to go before the end of the game. Before the final boss. Also, here's a nice little spot to replenish items. I thought I had my super missile count maxed out at 20. Wait, no, I missed one. I just realized where I missed it. That's alright. Of course, we're taking this path to grab the plasma gun, or plasma beam. The plasma beam replaces a spacer, and when you combine it with the wave beam, not only goes through walls, but goes through enemies, and it is very, very powerful. For anyone who've played those the randomizers, If you get the plasma beam early on in the game and you fight some of the bosses and sub-bosses like in the beginning, you beat them in ways that they were not supposed to be beaten in the game. Of course, if you would have came over from wrecked ship, this is kind of the path you would have taken when first exploring Meridia. Kind of got a little run boost and space jump there. Kind of jump through there pretty quickly. And those gates right there, if they're facing the other way, there's actually a trick to shoot them from the opposite direction where like your super missile almost goes through the wall. So you can open them from the other side. You can't do it on that one though. You can only do it when they're facing the other direction. Alright, so now we're going to go fight Ridley in Lower Norfair. Ridley, of course, was a boss in the very first Metroid. Both Kraid and Ridley were in the original two Metroids. Or were in the original first Metroid, not the second Metroid. I'm going to turn our ice beam back on, just because I'm probably going to come in pretty handy here. And that little room right there to the right is a good spot to replenish health and ammo if you need to. Of course, here you need the space jump to make it up here. And you can actually go up here without the space jump. There's some tricks. Like there's one where you can do like a shorter speed boost run and bounce off an enemy and jump straight up. No way I can do that. No way I can do that one. There's another trick where you can turn off the gravity suit and take damage and wall jump off the enemies that shoot stuff out of their mouths. Now, normally you go to the left and you fight a mini-boss to get a screw attack, but we're going to go straight to the right and take the shorter path. We're going to skip the screw attack. Normally you need the screw attack to kill those guys quickly, but a timed, a charged plasma shot will take him out. Problem is, without the screw attack is you need to use power bombs to get through these things, where normally you can just kind of spin jump through them. Which means you gotta take a little bit of damage. Shoot those guys out of the way. Use a power bomb to destroy the wall. Normally when you got the screw attack, you just jump through it. Now I can go up and to the up and right a little bit to grab a little, I think it's extra missiles, but that's okay, we don't need them. So either extra missiles or extra power bombs. Two charge shots will take these guys out. You can actually shoot them and run through them as you shoot them just right to kind of time it to where you don't take damage. You can do that if you want to. Save point there if you need it. And I'm going to hold off using power bombs through here because I only got 2 left. So I need one right here. And I need the last one over here. Burn through that little structure right there. And there's some more power bombs to the left over there. Hopefully I'm not mixing up my left and my right while talking about this video. But yeah, there's 5 more power bombs to the left up there if you need them. Now these guys are a little tricky. You want to land with them facing away from you, and then it exposes them to be able to get shot there. So you face them, they face away from you. Oh. Come on, do it again. Oh, didn't work that. Oh, there we go. Those guys can be a little tricky, but once you kind of get it figured out, they're pretty easy. And I'm kind of playing it a little safe here. I could just go down and run through the lava if I wanted to. Those little circle guys will replenish your power bombs if you need them. Shoot this. And we're going to replenish just a little bit of stuff here. Oh yeah, there we go. That's good. And time for the Ridley fight. We're going to blow through most of our super missiles. And just mainly rely on the charge shots here. Oh, I keep mistiming that. Normally you can see that coming and just jump right over them. I am not doing too well this fight. That's alright. There's an energy tank after this fight. Hope I make it. Oh, I'm doing horrible this fight. I am doing horrible. Jeez. Okay, there we go. Yesterday when I practiced this, I only took like 1 energy tank worth of damage. That's alright. Because there's an energy tank right there. And we'll just skip all this. Oh, I meant to go forward, not up. That's okay. Only a loss of a couple seconds. Not too bad. Yeah, back when my friend and I first started practicing speedrunning this many years ago, the Ridley fight was always the harder fight for us. course, we also didn't realize how much powerful the charged plasma shot was. And for a little safety strategy here, we are going to grab this energy tank down here. Really don't need it, but we're going to do it for a little extra safety. Of course, we only got half the energy tanks in the game. But that's okay. More than what we really need. Oh, come on, go up. There we go. And go through the false wall right there. Straight up to the left. Gonna keep going up and to the left. Bust through the wall there. Of course, got to use a power bomb because we don't have the screw attack. And hey, this place looks familiar. And we are basically going to backtrack. Here's a little shortcut I mentioned earlier. We are basically going to backtrack all the way back to close to the beginning of the game. Got the heater going in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. And for a little extra shortcut, we're going to take a shortcut through Meridia, which I can pick up those super missiles that I missed. Oops. That's okay, we'll just take a little damage hitting that guy. And we just go straight up. Through kind of a little false area right there. Through the gate. And we are at that little corridor where we go to wrecked ship. But instead of turning to the right, going to the wrecked ship, I'm going to turn to the left, which is where we started in the beginning of the game. Run through this wall. There's our ship. See if I can time this jump here just right. Oh, no, I didn't. If you time the jump while you got this speed boost, you can just do a couple hops and go right through this wall. It looks really cool when you pull it off. Okay, down in this corridor here. And this is where you have to have all the 4 main bosses beat in order to unlock the pathway. Kind of like in the first Metroid, where you had to beat the 2 bosses to unlock the pathway. By the way, for those with weak bladders, here's a good spot to just set your controller down, go to the bathroom real quick, and come back. Because this kind of takes a minute to go through its little cutscene here. Of course, we are now in the final area. We're going to fight Mother Brain. Of course, the Metroids. Metroids, you freeze them, and then you shoot 5 missiles, or you can actually shoot a super missile at them. And if you miss the ice beam, you can actually kill them with 3 power bombs. I actually learned that recently. Just to make sure I get the super missiles I need. There's a trick where you go under them, and then you kind of go past all 3 of them, and you can shoot them and take them out with 1 super missile. But I can never pull it off, so I'm just going to use my 3 power bombs here to make sure I get the last of the super missiles, which I didn't, but that's okay. We grabbed extra missiles, so we should be okay. Now, of course, if you remember that baby Metroid in the beginning of the cutscene, which is actually the ending of Metroid 2 on Game Boy, our little baby Metroid is grown. And apparently he forgot that his mother's no longer breastfeeding. Sucked her dry. I hope this video doesn't get canceled for that. Alright, so this little room right here, you can refill your missiles and energy. Kill the little gate monster, whatever they're called. Now, these little things in the wall, there's a trick to shoot one, go through it, and then it skips all the other ones. And I've never been able to pull it off. So I just shoot them. Oh yeah, 13 missiles to spare. It's like, yeah, that's it. We beat Mother Brain. Because that's all it was in the original Metroid. Oh, nope. There's more to it. Now I got to make sure I have at least 4 energy tanks. Of course, if you got the plasma weapon, the plasma beam, you can do pretty well against her with the plasma beam. If you didn't get the plasma beam, it takes a little longer. That will do some serious damage. Yeah, watch out for the clap there. You do not want to get the clap. Yeah, we're totally getting canceled. Alright, yeah, the beam there does a ton of damage. She's probably going to do a second one on me. That's okay. So yeah, 2 of those energy tanks I definitely didn't need. Would have been sweating during the Ridley fight though. But yeah, if you have less than 4 energy tanks and when she first does that to you, it'll kill you. So you got to have enough in order to survive the hit. And baby to the rescue. And of course the baby Metroid, not quite the baby anymore, refills all your health and upgrades your beam to the hyper beam. And Mother Brain regenerates. And now you can just completely waste her. Now she's a complete pushover. Now for the dramatic exit. Gotta speed out of here before the whole place blows up. Because that's how you have to end every Metroid game. Kind of like every Halo game. Or almost every Halo game. Okay, now normally you go kind of take this middle path and kind of take a little maze up, but there's a nice little shortcut right here. Part of the floor there, you can just jump right through with a speed boost. Go straight up. Shoot down, kind of take out any enemies diagonally might get in our way. And here's a nice little trick. Use the speed boost towards the very end. And just jump straight up right there. Of course, if you did explore the game and you found some of the little friends and animals that help you out, you can go down that way and open the door to kind of help out your little animal friends. Nice little Easter egg in the game. But this is a speed run, not 100% completion. So they can die. And we'll see what our final time is. I'm guessing 54 minutes. I might even say 55 because I messed up a couple of the jumps. But we'll see what it is. And this is the game timer, not real time. I'll know what the real time is when I actually look at the video and time it and stuff like that. And we barely made the planet's explosion. And if you save the animals, you'll see like a little dot kind of floating away from the explosion right there to signify their ship. Clear time, 52 minutes. Oh, I was not expecting that. Man, I would have got down to 51 minutes if I didn't screw up some of my stuff. So yeah, that is Super Metroid. That is my almost personal best speed run with my noob skills there. Of course, here's Samus when she takes her armor off. Like, oh my god, it was a woman the whole time! But if you played through the first two Metroids, you already knew that. But anyway, if you beat the game in 3 hours or longer, she only takes her helmet off. But if you beat the game in under 3 hours, which we did, completely blew that away, she takes off all the armor. So, kind of a nice little Easter egg there. Anyway, let me know what you think. Please leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for coming to my video. If you would like to help my channel grow, please like and subscribe, and please click on this little bell icon so you never miss a future video.